Hey guys, I just changed the oil and put a battery in my razor. Gonna go over to the sand dunes this weekend. I think we're gonna go over on Sunday and spend the day over there playing around. This thing's been sitting for about a year, so let's see if it starts. Should. It's got a brand new battery and fresh oil. Oh yeah, fires right up. Anyway, give you a little walkthrough on it. Just put those harnesses and stuff in it last year. They seem to help a lot more than the regular old seatbelt. It's dirty. I need to wash it before I go. Yeah, if you saw that, there's a, I don't know if you can see it, but right in there, there's a red AR. And on the other side, the other one's white. Yeah. So, what happened there was, ball joint went bad. So I tried to pull the ball joint out, and I got the old ball joint out just fine. It came out, no problems. Went to press the other one in, didn't get it square, and moved a bunch of the metal on the eye of it, where the ball joint goes. So now, actually, and I can show it to you, I have the old one with the ball joint. The ball joint just falls in and out of it. It's too loose to fit it. And if you give me just a second, I will show you what I'm talking about. Got it put up in the toolbox on the old Ford. Get that thing opened up here in a minute. Okay, so box of broken junk, broken axle. Come on, get out of my way. Okay, so there's that. I don't know, I might have finally thrown the ball joint away. Not sure, because I don't see it in here, but I do have a spare, so I can still show you what I'm talking about. So it's just a tip if you're ever trying to do a ball joint on a razor, or probably I would say anything for that matter, make sure you get the ball joint square. Oh, there it is. Okay. Because if you don't get the ball joint square, apparently you do what I did, which is not really that noticeable. And you could just weld the ball joint in. It'd be the last time you get to use it, basically, more than likely. I mean, you might get 2 uses out of it, maybe, if you got it welded just for grind it back off and change it again. But anyway, let me see if I can set this up so you guys can see. There it is. So there's the ball joint. The way it's supposed to go in, shouldn't just press in there with my fingers and then fall back out. So anyway, what happened was the metal got moved. Now that's too loose to hold the ball joint, because those little clips aren't going to hold it, not for very long anyway. So my recommendation would be is if you ever have this problem, just get you an old, well, I wouldn't say an old crappy ball joint because you want a good one, but get yourself a ball joint, shove it up in the hole, and just weld it in there, because I'm going to do that to that one and use it for spare, just because you never want to kill a weekend when you're over there having fun because you crashed and you don't have spare parts. So we always try to carry spare parts. I'm pretty excited though. The thing runs. It hasn't ran since like Labor Day last year, I think. Maybe. That might have been the last. I think that was the last time I went. It was like the end of August, beginning of September. So we're gonna take this thing over there. I'm gonna go jump it and see if I can't break it again, because that seems to be what happens every time I play with it. And anybody out there in the YouTube land that knows anything about these things, comment, like, subscribe. We'll do some more with it. We're gonna try to get some more. I'm trying to get, I wouldn't necessarily say crappy ones, but I'm trying to get crappy ones. We're gonna try to do some stuff with it. Like, I want to make one a tow truck type deal, because I have a lot of friends. We all go to the sand, we all play around, and it always turns out somebody ends up broke. So I think I'm gonna try to get like a Polaris Ranger, maybe, or maybe like a Rhino, something of that nature. And I'm gonna put like electric over hydraulic stuff on it and make a boom and put an electric, probably like an electric 5,000 pound winch or something in the back of it. Maybe an 8,000 pounder, but I'll build a plate and stick it up through the back and mount it and run the cables through the boom. So if I got somebody down off the side of a hill that was trying to do a hill climb that's crashed, or maybe somebody just crashed, I can winch their stuff back up and then we can tow it off. Basically, I'm gonna make a side-by-side tow truck. I even right now it's just gonna end up with a sling style like the old days. But I am gonna build, hopefully, if it's not too heavy, because I got to try to keep it from being way too heavy, but I want to build a hydraulic wheel lift, so I can just suck the thing up there, hook it up like your regular old wrecker, and haul it off. Maybe someday we'll make one into a roll bed type tow side by side. But anyway, yeah, I want to get a couple more of them. That, and me and my friends, I got one. I have one friend that has one, but that's it. He takes his to the sand only, and that's normally what I do, just because I don't have anybody else to go in the mountains with. But we are gonna do lots of different stuff on this channel, that Razor being one of them. I got a dirt bike that I'll probably play with, so that'll be on there a little bit. We do have an old 3-wheeler we're gonna mess with, because Chevy's had it since he was like 10. So I got a transmission for it. I got to tear it apart and put the transmission in it. I think the transmission's bad. I am going to tear it apart and figure out what's wrong with it before I do that. But anyway, there's that little 3-wheeler. Oh, 125. Those little hot rods. But we are going to we're trying a lot harder to put out more videos, more content. We had 5-day stretch of like nothing. I apologize for that. It was hard to get out and get stuff done. We were busy doing our life stuff that we have to deal with from time to time. Well, like anybody else. At some point you got to deal with the problems that you got. But anyway, we're gonna try, and I'm gonna try for, by the end of this long weekend coming up, I'm gonna try to have the Monte Carlo in, and as soon as Monte Carlo goes into the shop, there will be more videos, because I will video everything I do. I was dumb and started the Razor deal there without turning on my video camera until it was time to start it. So anyway, now you know that I have one and it runs. But anyway, I gotta check the oil on that thing, because I forgot to do that. You're supposed to start it, let it run for a minute, and check the oil. So let's check the oil. So on these things, there's a little cover right here. Just push in and pull out. And right in here, right there, is a dipstick. Although I kind of screwed up, because you're not supposed to check this when it's hot. You're supposed to check it when it's cold. And it's hot, obviously, because you can see the oil dripping off of it. And it says it's like way too full. So I guess I'll wait until tomorrow and check it again and make sure that it's at the right level. Pretty sure it is. I've done this before. Maybe. I mean, I haven't been the best at it. This is by far the most prized possession I got, because it's the thing that cost me the most money. This was my first biggest purchase that I ever bought. And I didn't even buy it new. I bought it used. I've had it for, oh boy, I don't remember. It's been 3 years, 4 years, something like that. At least 3. It's been at least 3. And I have had tons of fun with it. I've jumped it. I've taken it in the mountains. I've rolled it. I rolled it once. It wasn't bad. It was either that or run over a little kid on a 4-wheeler, so I figured rolling it's not such a bad option. So I swerved to avoid him, and his dad got mad at me and yelled at me because he thought I was driving unsafe. But a bunch of guys ran out of the bushes, rolled me back over, and then explained to him that it wasn't anything that I did. I was just trying to avoid his kid and not run him over. And after that, he apologized and shook my hand. And it seems to be about the way things work out there. You go riding around, people are usually pretty nice. I have to admit that. When you get out on the sand, everybody seems to stick together. There are a few people that don't. But I'm one of those people that if I'm riding by and somebody's broke down, I stop and help them. And I would hope that other people do that too. It's the nice thing to do. Especially out on the sand, because if they're all by themselves, it's really hard to get a bike off the sand, or it's even harder to get a side-by-side off the sand. And even at that, a sand rail. I've towed everything. I towed a Subaru Legacy, I think, last year with my Razor, because some guy tried to go down the wrong road because the GPS told him he could get there from where he was at. And you can, but not in that car you can't. Anyway, I pulled him back off the sand. He made it about a half mile down the sand road out into the dunes. But we towed him back, and he got out. He was fine. But it's things like that. Just random acts of kindness. Nobody does it anymore. Not really sure why. Probably mostly because the world's such an evil place anymore. Not that that's what I'm about. I'm not trying to preach to anybody. I'm just saying, live the way you want to live. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't treat people crappy. I don't like it. I know nobody else likes it. Like, perfect example, when I'm at work, the people that follow me, I drive a Heister, and I load dryer. We drive veneer and make LVL, laminated veneer lumber, or engineered wood, however you want to look at it. But, so, at the end of every shift, the next guy coming on to drive, he's expected to run wood and whatnot. So, I always set them up to where, they're set up for at least a half an hour to an hour, so they got time to deal with whatever, get used to driving or get into the swing of things, because I know that I can't just go from not doing it and then show up and do it and just go right into it. On some shifts, anyway. The graveyard shift's not too bad, which is what I work tonight, so whatever there. But when it comes to, like, the early in the morning thing, when you're first waking up and you're showing up to work and you're expected to just jump into it and be going, it's really hard, especially if you have to deal with everything else. So I always just, I bring a lot of wood over and leave it there so they have something to run for a while so they can get oriented and ready to go. And that's how I treat people, Treat them the way that you want to be treated. And you can take a work thing for a perfect example, like me setting up the other guys. No matter who's following me, if I like them or not, which I would say everybody that I work with that drives outside, I like. So anyway, you got 3 other people that you're following, or 2, and you just keep them happy, which in turn, come the end of their shift, when you're coming in and taking over after them, they'll treat you a little better. So that's my thing with people. You treat them good, and then if it's something you can afford, do something nice to help someone else. And then when they ask you, well, what are you going to charge me for it? Tell them you're not going to charge them. Just tell them you hope that the next time they run across somebody that needs some help, they help them too. Because that's, in the grand scheme of things, that's the best way to go. I think. I could be wrong, whatever. That's how I live my life. I'm not going to tell you that's how you should do it, because you can do whatever. But, anyway, I thought I would explain to you guys about what's going on and where I was going with the channel and all that. And sorry for not posting videos. I know that I said I was gonna post like every day, but I forgot. It just happens. Anyway, I bought an axle for that, and it should show up sometime today. And when it does, I think Saturday I will do the video on changing the axle, and then I got a couple videos coming up for you guys on Saturday that have to do with that black Chevy pickup. We gotta plumb it and wire it and put a gas tank in it. So this time I think I'm gonna stand behind the camera and film and talk about what's going on while Chevy does some of that work, gets it plumbed, stabs the distributor, or sets the distributor. I think it's stabbed. I think we just need to get it running and get it tuned. But we're gonna wire it, we're gonna plumb it for fuel, we're gonna put the radiator and stuff in it, and then we got to put the front clip back on it. And I think that truck's done. Hopefully a good solid Saturday, you know, probably 5 or 6 hours, we should have that truck buttoned up, rolled out of the shop and ready to go, which would be nice, because then that means Monday when I come back or Sunday, I'll be back Sunday, but I can just drop my trailer with the Razor on it, hook up to the trailer with the Monty on it, and we can just haul it on into the house or into the shop, get the motor tore out of it, get my motor that's going to go in it started or torn down, and just start fixing it, put rings and bearings and stuff in it. And then hopefully in the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks, that thing will be done and rolling, which I'm excited because I'm ready to drive it. Last year I didn't get to drive it at all. I mean, I did. I got to drive it a couple blocks before it quit running altogether. So anyway, you guys stay tuned and watch. Hopefully you're enjoying what we're putting out. Like I said, we're trying. Actually, here in about a month, I'm going to try to buy some better video equipment so it's not on a phone. I'll get like a GoPro or something. Maybe some of my subscribers or new subscribers, what if they have any sort of experience with video stuff. Maybe they could tell me what a good camera would be to have to do this. That's fairly cheap, because I'm fairly cheap. The axle that I bought for the Razor cost me 80 bucks, and that was hurting. I mean, it's not hurting, but it's expensive. I've broke a lot of axles in that thing, and I've had to pay a lot of money in axles. So everybody tells me, oh, buy a better one. Well, the better ones are more expensive. Well, but you only have to spend that once. Yeah, but coming up with that initially, kind of difficult. I mean, that $80 axle, granted, I've put 8 of them in there, maybe 9. I think 9 axles I've bought and replaced in that, front and rear both. But mostly I don't use front end at all anymore unless I can't move with just the rear. Then I'll put it in 4-wheel drive. Otherwise, that thing stays in 2-wheel drive and I don't mess with it. Which not very often does not have enough traction to go where it needs to go. But anyway, yeah, it would be smarter to buy a better axle, just pay the money one time, and maybe it would last longer. But it's easier to come up with $80 than $400, and I know people out there know exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, that's where it's at with me and that. Anyway, you guys, like I said, just like, subscribe, follow, comment. Let us know what's going on. Let us know what you guys want to see and what you want, and we'll try and get her done. You guys have a good one. Stay safe.